What's up, everyone? This is Nick from Slaveknight. The name comes from Dark Souls 3. So the meaning behind the name is I'm a gigantic nerd. Well, I mean, it's not very different from my regular life. I'm writing music, reading, watching movies with my wife, and playing video games. Just trying to hang out and stay healthy. Yeah, the U.S. is being affected in a lot of ways. It's a shit show. A lot of people lost their jobs. I lost my job. A lot of people can't get financial help. So the economy's stressed. So they're trying to reopen everything. I don't think that there's been like sufficient testing or stuff like that. So it could get bad again. But yeah, man, it's crazy. It's just a crazy situation. Black Lives Matter. Um, so yeah, I mean, I live in Cincinnati. I went to the protests right down the street from where I live. Me and my wife, we marched. So yeah, I'm in solidarity with protesters. As far as riots go, uh, can't condemn the rioters. Anger is a legitimate and human response to this kind of mistreatment. And the black community has been fucked with for so long. There's so much frustration, so I think it's a pretty natural reaction, and you know, I don't condone violence or destruction, but you reap what you sow, America. So I was really just working on some songs to to make a death metal project uh, by myself, just with a computer, a guitar, and a microphone. Uh, so I mean, it was kind of demo-y, but it just the way it all kind of came together, it started just sounding cool, and you know, recording isn't easy, making music's not easy, but this project really did kind of come together all on its own. So it was a pretty easy organic process, and I put everything out as is in this like kind of more cohesive framework and made it into an EP. But in a lot of ways, it's still kind of just a collection of my early demos for this project. But everything's kind of cohesive. It works together, and I just thought it all sounded good, so I put it together and just made it an EP. So lyrically, I just took a lot from books I was reading at the time. Like I was reading William Peter Blatty's The Exorcist. I was reading Kentaro Miura's Berserk manga series. I was reading the Book of Imaginary Beings by Jorge Luis Borges is another one that conjures up a lot of the imagery of like monsters and demons and a lot of this like end of the world kind of dark fantasy stuff. It's like about prophecies, dark fantasy, big nerd shit. Well, the cover art is like a came out of a art visual art experiment I was doing with like the signal of two VCRs mixed together and making a bunch of like static. So that image came out of this VHS I found uh, of this like TV special about people that had died and went to hell and then were revived and got to like tell their story about being in hell. And like in the 80s and 90s, there was just a lot of this like Christian propaganda like that, and it's just entertaining. I think it's entertaining. But that came out of that, yeah. I think I think a lot of artists within the metal community have really just kind of figured it all out on their own. People are totally capable of making their own music with their own resources and they can even release it by themselves with their own resources. So I don't know that like labels are absolutely necessary anymore, but there'll always be labels and there'll always be a use for them for artists that really want to take it to that level. But I think you can definitely get a lot done within your community with just networking, using the internet, and uh, recording and releasing it yourself. I think a lot of people have a DIY spirit, especially in the metal community. Yes, I'm working with some people right now. We're writing new songs, just working on riffs and getting together and kind of coming up with new stuff. But yeah, I'm working with some new people now to make a lineup. So yeah, whenever we can play shows ever again, I hope we'll be there. I really like. I'm still listening to Full of Hell's newest thing, Weeping Choir, because it's just a really interesting album. It's got a lot going on for like a band that has like just been around for like a minute now, but it's kind of just like all the stuff they've ever done and more, and it's insane and chaotic. So it sounds really cool. I like that record. Another new record, Blood Incantation, Hidden History of the Human Race is awesome because it's death metal about ancient aliens. It's awesome. It's genius. And I don't know. I guess I gotta shout out some locals. Sulfuric Cottery is always doing dope stuff. Everybody probably knows Sanguisuga Bog by now. They're awesome. Uh, People from my town, Flesh Mother, Verment, Valdrin, uh, Nithing, uh, Faith Extractor. Yeah, just great metal bands just from around the way. Always doing cool stuff. My plans are just to stay safe, stay healthy, keep my family healthy, and keep working on new music. Keep working on Slaveknight, and working with new members to sort of fill out the sound, and hopefully we'll be playing live when the time comes. Like a more specific like plan for the near future, I want to do a full length. I'd like to do an album and put that out on like vinyl. That would be awesome. Something I'd like to do. Thank you guys, and thank you Antichrist Magazine. Check out Save Your Servant on Bandcamp.